Yo, como estás? Wild Down Tooth, and we got Black Dragon here live. Finally got him on here. We have to back things up a little bit. He's a busy man. You can hear loud and clear, Black Dragon?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so how's your day going so far? I know it sounds pretty hectic.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm glad to be on. How's it going, folks?
It's going good. I look bigger than you in this damn thing. That's
No,
awesome.
you don't. No, you don't.
Oh, I got to get in the camera. There we go. Yeah. I'm wearing all green. I got to do the St. Patty's.
Mine's bigger. But
That's what she said.
yeah, I'm going to leave it off camera, though.
Oh, damn. All right, so the premise of the show.
St. Patty's Day today? No,
Well, yesterday was St. Patty's. You missed. I put a video out today. Keeping your word to a 1%er. It was just keeping your word to anybody. I came up with a long story short. I promised a good friend of mine who's a 1%er lifer for a big club. Promised him something small, and I fucking forgot. So he called me on it, and I decided to make the video. But I wore my Pat McCrotch St. Patty's T-shirt. Yeah, so it was badass. So the premise of this video, I always have the man behind the patch. Black Dragon is, I think you're known throughout YouTube for MC, Protocol, Biker News, but you have a very interesting background history compared to a lot of other people. And so in this program, I always like talking about like the beginning, right? The Black Dragon before the MC, your history. I know some of the viewers probably already seen and know a little bit about you, but there's some other guys that don't know much about you. And so if you can just give us a little background of it, a little background from the before.
Well,
you can go far back as first time you lost your virginity. I don't know how far you.
Yeah, that's a ways back. Yeah, I was 5 years old when. Never mind. But anyway, I started. I grew up around motorcycles. Everybody had them. I grew up in the country, so everybody had motorcycles. It was something that country kids grow up with: mini bikes, motorcycles, wave runners, anything like that. Three-wheelers, snowmobiles. We had all that stuff around us. I grew up on a farm. Grew up. A lot of my friends had farms. Everybody, I grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma, so there was farms all around us. I was in the 4-H. So I spent a lot of time in rural kind of areas, hanging out, and I developed a love for bicycles at about 3 years old. My mother would, really be pissed off with me about riding the bicycles with no training wheels on them, and I was forbidden to ride my friend's bicycle, and because they wouldn't take the training wheels off mine. So every chance I got it, and I was always falling and dropping that thing, but I'd come home with all these tears on me and my skin torn up, and my mother knew I was on that bicycle, but I just, I wasn't going to be able to give it up. So somewhere around maybe 5 or 6, the passion for motorcycles hit. Everybody had a mini bike, or a lot of the kids had mini bikes, and their brothers had, we had ATC Honda three-wheelers, and it didn't matter who owned one in the neighborhood, you were going to get to ride it. So it just kind of came like that. The love of motorcycles in my life just kind of came like that, and then eventually that led to the passion for the motorcycle club.
Was there clubs around when you were growing up?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, there were clubs, and they were everywhere. But I didn't quite know what a club was. It didn't dawn on me what a club was until I got much, much older. They were around, they were in the neighborhood, people rode in them. But a lot of folks, I didn't have the passion until I joined the Navy and I ran into the Black Sabbath. But I had been riding. There were clubs I rode that they would go out and they would race in Oklahoma, race out in Spencer on like 50th Street or something, where they would shut the streets down. Or Spencer was right out at the edge of Oklahoma City. Spencer was like a little country town, is like a little country town, and so there was a place, Air Depot Road or something. It was so many years ago that was kind of between the two jurisdictions where the cops really weren't there, and they would catch that quarter mile. And back then they were riding the GS 1150 ES Super Sport monsters, and so that's where all the motorcycle clubs would go. And when I was a kid, the black bikers rode choppers. They're the ones that ushered in the era of the choppers. Those bikes you saw in Easy Rider, those bikes were what the black guys rode. In fact, it was two black guys that designed those motorcycles. A lot of people don't know those motorcycles were designed, and that was our contribution. So all the OGs rode these motorcycles, these chopped up motorcycles, and then they would they'd ride the choppers to the race track, and somebody would pull their race bikes. Everybody had 3, 4, 5 bikes back then, so
yeah,
you had a chopper.
There's some clubs that are only chopper only clubs.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that. People think it's all like either Harley or American. There's some just chopper or rat bikes, type of club.
Or rat bikes, and people get into their thing. So by the time I was 15, see, in Oklahoma you could get your driver's license if you lived on a farm. You could get your license at 12, and you could get your motorcycle license at 14. Now you couldn't drive on the regular street at 12, but you could get a provisional kind of license. You could get your motorcycle license at 14, and of course you got your driver's permit at 15. I was driving from a very young age. And I had my motorcycle license at 14. You had to be in at 9:30, like anybody ever obeyed that. But by the time I was like 15, I made my first like kind of cross-country type ride. I had a Honda Goldwing CX 500 Silver Wing, they called them.
You would have one.
And it was shaft-driven, water-cooled, little 500. That sucker, I think top speed was like 87 miles an hour.
I told you what my first bike was, right?
Say what?
Yeah, I told you what my first bike was.
No.
1957 BSA Classic, 650 cc.
Oh, that's nice, man.
I was around a big club at the time, and they were just like, "Get the fuck in the back of the line." But I used to split them in the middle, and they used to get so pissed off, kick me out to the side. But I used to take that thing from Florida to Chicago and back. So.
Oh yeah. So for me, it was that, and then I started getting into the race bikes. I had a Seca, I had a Interstate 500, and then 750. I had GS 1150E, Kawasaki KZ 1300, the Z1R 1000. I had a KZ 1000R. I started going into the what were the race bikes at the time.
Right.
By the time I got to California, man, I was gone. Where the motorcycle world was concerned, I was just absolutely gone. And that's where I ran into the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club.
What age you said?
Oh, I was in the military, so I was in my 20s.
Did you hang around for a little while before you even prospect? I mean, I know your prospect time documented by you, sir. was a nice extensive prospecting. Not their fault probably, but you know.
Oh yeah.
What was your hang? Like, do you have a long hang around, or do you kind of know right away? And
No. So can you see my screen, or you can only see me?
I can only see.
You can't see my second screen?
No, just you.
Oh.
Here, let me see. Maybe I can do this. I think I can play with something. Let's see. Boom.
Yeah. So this this is my motorcycle club. So I got to my first second when I ran into my club, my first second, I was smitten. I knew that I would be a Black Sabbath the second they let me hang out with them. And the thing about it is, I got into the Black Sabbath. It's kind of hokey. I was in the Navy. I was an E5, but I had come from the submarine community, and in the submarine community, you are able to have a lot of positional authority. And when I went to my school to learn how to become a Navy instructor, I was around a bunch of skimmers, surface skimmer pukes, and the master chief the senior chief had asked me to clean the heads. And when I was in the submarine in the Navy, I was a chief of the watch. I stood E89 watch stations, chief of the watch, duty chief, that kind of thing, as an E5. So I go to the surface base, and they're treating me like an E5 again. And I told the guy, there's no way in hell I'm cleaning the heads. And go get you one of those E1s or E2s. So now in the Navy, that's automatic. We're throwing your ass out of here. But the senior chief, did not want to ruin my career. So he sent me to a black senior chief for re-education. And instead of destroying my career, the black senior chief took me and my best friend went over there. And back there in the Navy, you could beat on a guy. And if I don't know.
There's a lot of jokes that can be said about submarines, Navy going down, cleaning the heads, and beat on a guy. But I'm not gonna.
Well, you can. I mean, sure. There's a lot of jokes that can be said, but those people telling those jokes need to be able to stand behind them.
Yeah.
So beat on a guy meant get your ass whooped. That's what it meant. So if you thought it's something else. So anyway, he sent me to the senior chief for re-education, and me and my best friend, who had decided we weren't going to clean the head. So we got over there. The senior chief got rough with us, and he worked it out, though. He said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. You're going to go back into the head, and you're going to stand in there for 30 minutes, and you're going to go tell the senior chief the head's clean. And the senior chief's going to go in there. He's going to look in the head, and he's going to say, you guys did a good job. And then he's never going to ask you guys to clean the head again, because he probably shouldn't have done that. And you're never going to question him again. And you guys shouldn't have done that. And we went. And so he said, what we call this a compromise. So we went over there, and we stood in the head for 30 minutes. We told him it was clean. He went in and he said it looked great. And we were all friends again. That afternoon, I see that senior chief walk out. The black one walk out and get on a Kawasaki concourse, and I said to him, what do you know about motorcycles? And he says to me, what the hell do you think you know about motorcycles? And I said, I'm a rider. And he says, oh yeah. So he wrote down an address on a piece of paper, handed me that piece of paper, and said, meet me over here at 3:00 Saturday afternoon. That place was the Black Sabbath San Diego clubhouse. And when I went over there, and it was my first real experience with a a motorcycle club. And one of the first things this guy did, his name was Magic. He's the guy who brought me in the club. And one of the first things this guy did was he walks outside the clubhouse at 4280 Market Street. And there's these two girls walking by and he screamed, "Hey, get in here." And those two girls, they just stopped, walked across the street to the clubhouse, and he said, get up on the stage and dance for my bros here. And the music came on, they got on the stage, started ripping everything off, and I thought to myself, who in the hell has this kind of power? And that was it.
Yeah, you were sold already on that.
I was
Yeah,
I was sold.
Hell will get you, man.
I was like, he didn't even know those girls just because he was a biker on the club on the corner. And so they did it, man. It was just like that.
And the good thing about your the club that you're talking about, Black Sabbath,
I want to show this picture. This picture here is about what the clubhouse. I think this was about the time I came to the club house. Jesse Jackson had been running for president, and this is a look at the clubhouse. I think somewhere close to the time that I came to the club. It was painted like this, and the Rainbow Push Coalition and all that kind of stuff. So this was the thing that
and it is a multiracial club.
Started off in 1974. Well, they conceived. They got together in 72.
Mm-hmm.
By 74, their wives. They used to meet every Sunday. They used to meet at the each other's garages and hang out in each other's garages. And by 74, their wives told them, you can't hang out in the garages anymore. So they got pissed off and got a clubhouse. By 75, they were integrated. They were in a military neighborhood, and they were integrated. So this was the club, and it's been a multiracial club since 75.
Okay. And then when you started prospecting, I think you tell everybody it took about 5 years, but that was on and off for 5 years, or was it straight 5 years?
There was some on and off. I mean, I would get kicked out of the club from time to time for
I wonder why,
for this infraction or that, I wasn't a good prospect. There's a reason I wrote Prospect's Bible. I wasn't a good prospect. I was quite a troublemaker indeed.
And that's your top selling book?
Prospect's Bible, it is my top selling book.
Okay. So guys out there who he has a book called The Prospect Bible, and where could they find that?
Well, you can get it off of my website, blackdragonsgear.com, or you can get it on Amazon, or you can get it on Kindle, and soon you'll be able to get it on ACX Audible, because I've just finished the things on my studio. I just got the treatments up on the wall, so now with the wall treatments I can start to do the audio books.
Okay. Then how long, I know you're a national president for the Black Sabbath. How long were you in the club before that even transpired? Were you a president of a chapter first, or how was the steps for that?
So yeah, I was in the club for, oh my goodness. So I first came to the club somewhere around 89. And I didn't make national president until 2010. So
okay. Yeah, you're
there for a while.
Yeah.
29, 2010, right at 20. So my first, I was first a president, and then I was the national enforcer, and then I went from national enforcer to national president.
And how long were you national president for?
Right, pretty close to close to 10 years.
Okay. Someone asked, how often do you get back to San Diego to the original chapter?
Every year, man.
That run that you talk about.
The cold ash run to the mother.
Except for this year, because COVID.
The Snow Bear Disciples run. So in our history, what happened is that we were the new kids on the block and nobody wanted to see us prosper. So they gave us the worst day, the worst club date for our party, the club date that nobody else wanted. And so that was in February in California. February is raining season down in Southern California. So there was always some horrible rain on our day a lot of times. And we basically took that horrible day. We called it the first run. And, you know, for how short the winter is, but there is a winter where people don't ride so much. It's not, you know, it's not Wisconsin by any measure, but it is a small time where people don't ride so much. It's mostly during the rainy season. And so by the time you can ride again, everybody's so excited to ride that they would come from. And here's another thing. The Black Sabbath was the only club in San Diego on the black bike set that had a clubhouse for Jesus, had to be close to 40 years.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of clubs or a lot of chapters don't have clubhouses.
Right.
And usually in the city or in the state, there's only, I mean, you can count them probably sometimes in two hands, or, you know, there's not many compared to what people think. Everybody thinks every club, every chapter has a clubhouse.
Oh, no. We were the only. And then once there were some other major clubs on the white set that had clubhouses. And when they moved out, it's like the city of San Diego was kind of like there'll be no clubhouses. So for a long time, you couldn't have your name on your clubhouse, but Black Sabbath was always kind of grandfathered in or something, and so nobody ever screwed us. So if you wanted to go to a clubhouse, you would come to in San Diego, you'd come to the Black Sabbath. So we would have to ride to Los Angeles to have fun. You know, there was 40, 50 clubs up there, and now there might be 500. I don't know, but there were a lot of clubs up there. So all those clubs in Los Angeles would be tired. They'd want to get out of LA, and we had the first run, and they would come to our chapter, our annual. There would be thousands and thousands of motorcycles for our annual dance, and it went from like the lousiest thing to the most celebrated thing. So we took we took a lemon and we made lemonade out of it. And so, but unfortunately, when I started making chapters all over the country, we still had that party in February. And so in order to get there on two wheels, you have to ride through the worst weather that the country has to throw at you in the middle of February, right around Valentine's Day.
Yep.
And so we called that the Cold Ash Run to the Mother Chapter, or the Snow Bear Disciples Run. And I created the Snow Bear Disciples patch based on the Blue Nose patch in the United States Navy. And so every year I go back at least once a year. I try to get back like 3 times because we have the Inland Empire chapter, and now we have Riverside in Los Angeles. So it may be four times a year I'm going back. But I have to go back for the Mother Chapter ride, and I'll be trying to go back for the other ones as time moves on.
Do you ride in all of them, or do you take planes and only ride once? And
no, I've always ridden back. I've never flown in. Now, this 2020 was my last. We didn't go in this year.
Right.
2020 was the toughest one I ever experienced. It rained for 10 days. a lot of people watched it. Over 50,000 people watched that. It was the ride with me and P59, who is now known as Brother Lionlock. And it was the toughest one for me. It rained for 10 days. It was cold, mean, ugly, hideous rain. And it was very, very tough rain. And it got into my hands were like ice. It was tough. And that was the one for me. It was so bad we slept outside in the rain. We were so tired. We just pull over to a rest stop and lay down on a park bench in the rain and just go to sleep. I ran out of gas, laid on the side of the road in the rain. It never stopped raining for 10 days and 10 nights. It never stopped raining. And it was horrible, horribly cold, wind blowing at 40, 50 knots, rain beating the shit out of you, riding at night. You can't see, your anti-fog thing ain't working, and your whole thing is fogged up. You can't see, you can't make out the street. The 18 wheelers are passing you at 90 and blowing you all. It was terrible. That's the one I almost said, F it. I got nothing to prove. Pulling over, having my have my girl come get me in my truck. I'm getting ready to be at the Red Roof Inn or someplace, kicked up in the jacuzzi, and I'll see, and y'all can go on. I'm done. And I was talking to the father of the Black Sabbath Nation on the phone the whole time. When I could get power, I could only charge my phone up at night. It was so wet, the phone wouldn't charge up. It would read water indicator. It was terrible. And I kept telling him on the phone, man, I'm done. I am done. I'm calling my girl. And he kept saying, you can't do that, young buck. You got to prove to the guys who you are. He told me this the whole way going and the whole way coming. I was like, oh, I'm done. So I hung in there for that. And here's the absolutely SHITTY part of it. 30 minutes after I got back home, the rain ceased.
It was a test. Nice mental test. But I was going to ask you, when did you start doing, for people that don't know, YouTube, the channel, and why? What was your reasoning to start in the beginning?
So I was having a lot of problems with retention in the club. And, you don't have people that would prospect 5 years anymore. That's gone. When I came into the club set, we had maybe, I don't know, 5 clubs, no more than about 14, between 5 and 14 clubs in the city of San Diego. There wasn't that many, and the clubs were close. You knew everybody in every club. It was like this, and we were like families. So clubs didn't pull from one another. You didn't go try to grab those guys, people out of the club. If you were having problems in your club, the other club would be like, yeah, man, I know you want to join us, but Black Sabbath, that's our friends. You need to go back home and work it out. In today's clubs, you got 200, 300, 400 clubs sometimes in a city. And
you get the people try to pull you and pluck you out.
Yeah,
all the time.
So you don't have a lot of people that would take the kind of crap, because my club for the longest did not think that its crap stank, and you don't have people that would take that kind of crap for that long. There's about 55 clubs that'll take you in tomorrow. Half of them won't even make you prospect. So I started seeing issues in club retention and what I call the millennial generation that would come in, and the way that the training was going on. And I'm a trained Navy trainer, master training specialist, the highest level you can go as a Navy trainer. I have a degree in education. I'm a good trainer. And so I initially got the idea for Prospects Bible because I wanted to teach the prospects in my club and the new people coming in what it meant to truly be a part of a club, more than about your ego, really about the we, more than the me. And about that time, several things happened. One, and I started really on Facebook, but the first thing that happened was there was a shootout. The one percenters came to a club in Atlanta, and those guys were not doing the right things, and they shot the whole club up. And I was really angry about that, and I was upset because those guys that got shot up, they wouldn't have had to go through that if they had just known some protocol. So I got on and I did that first video. And that video had about, 15,000 viewers, which was just
huge,
unbelievable. And it was taken so well. The one percenters called me up. Oh my God, that's really setting it straight, telling people how things really work. And the 99 percenters called me up. Well, I didn't know it worked like that. And then it just kind of snowballed from that. The other thing was I had just written this book called Prospects Bible, and I tried to take out some Facebook advertising, $20, $50, $80 of advertising. They tell you, hey, you can start with 20. And you know how many people you reach with $20 ad with Facebook? Maybe 600. And if only 1% of those people buy a book, so I couldn't afford Facebook advertising. And I was trying to think, how on earth can I advertise on social media and be able to afford it? And it dawned on me that if you could create viral videos, then you would have an advertisement platform that you didn't have to pay for. Well, I didn't know at the time that they'll actually pay you. So I remembered how viral that video went, 15,000 people. So I made another one. And that video did about 30,000 people. And that video was interesting. That video was how to run a motorcycle club day to day. And what we did was we examined the booze fighters. We examined their 1955 bylaws and went to an explanation of how they worked and why they worked. Because it was in the book that was...
it's just a short...
little short thing. And so we talked about that, and the booze fighters said, gave me all these props for doing it and mentioning their club and everything. But just that video alone, that video did so many views, and it was on. I was like, whoa, this really works. And so I started in Facebook, and then Big Cell from Fast Harleys Only, ATLGA, had been doing YouTube since 2012. And it was I think 2015 when I got started. So Big Cell told me about YouTube and told me they actually pay you to do YouTube. And I was like, they do? You mean YouTube isn't a bunch of people that don't have nothing better to do than make YouTube videos because they're bored? They actually get paid? And I left Facebook and went to YouTube because YouTube paid. I wish I'd stayed on Facebook because eventually, about 3 years later, Facebook started paying. So I had to go back later and get Facebook, and hopefully Instagram starts paying someday. So
see, I'm not good with any of that. Only thing I do is YouTube. All my Instagram, Facebook, I need to hire somebody just to do it.
There's a lot to it, but the cross promotion is great because different people watch for different reasons. Facebook people watch for entertainment. YouTube people watch for knowledge. Instagram people watch for trendy stuff. So
YouTube is right behind Google for search. People type in YouTube for search behind Google.
I didn't know that, but it would seem to. If you want to learn something, you go to YouTube. YouTube will teach you how to do everything from ride motorcycle clubs to fix an RV.
Yeah, because I mean, of course, on YouTube, you're gonna have the people that don't like us putting anything about protocols and a lot of things generalized, right? You're going to have people that keyboard warriors that never been in an MC set, and they hear something and said, hey, you're not supposed to be wearing that. You're not supposed to be saying that. You're not a 1%er. You're not a, you get all these people that, so of course, the bigger you get, you're going to get the more haters you're going to get. And,
absolutely. Or when you're in a situation like ours, you're just going to get haters anyway, and they're coming. There's nothing you can do about it. They're coming, and some of the guys will hurt you. There are guys that will hurt you. They for whatever their trip is, they feel like they own the motorcycle set or something, and you can't talk about it. They'll hurt you. So it's an interesting dichotomy we find ourselves in, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you also do the biker news. Of course, I kind of just stick to some protocol, and I try to talk the positive parts, but there's plenty of negative and storylines that everybody else talks about on the MC set. A lot of times I try to bring out more of the positive side, not to hide the negative side, but is actually show that there is positive, and what the media puts out is different. Not to say everybody says, oh, I hear a lot of people say everything the media puts out there is fake. No, I mean, not everything. The stories get pushed past where they're supposed to go, but things do happen. There are some negative things, obviously, but there's a lot of positive and reasons that people join a club. There's original reasons, and that's the same thing about prospecting. Nowadays, people always ask, how long is the prospecting? If someone can say, oh, it's 365 minimum, they'll look for another club. So then why the fuck did you come to my club, say you want to be in this club? As soon as I say that, you're like, back off, because they don't want to put in time. People rush for prospecting. They rush to try to be a brother, not knowing that it's actually easier to prospect than actually keep your patch. Same thing as a hang around. I mean, that's the number one time to really get to know the club, and the club gets to know you and see if you're a fit in the club. Instantly, people start saying, I want to hang around, but the next week, why am I not prospecting yet? Why am I not? And finally, they give you the prospecting, but also as a hang around, you can take it two ways, right? Either act like a hang around and enjoy yourself, or be a hang around, but act like a prospect as a hang around. So you show them, this is where I set the bar, and I'm ready for this. And then that's where people kind of get quicker into a prospecting phase. And the same thing, man, people enjoy the prospecting phase. Sometimes it's fun. For a majority of people, they look back, just like anything else you do. Like, oh, I miss those days. Same thing when I played baseball. I used to hate bus rides. All the guys smelled like shit and shitty motels, but then I miss it. The things that you look back. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's why I do enjoy putting out some content out there, obviously. And I do always say, just like you put disclaimers. I watched, you helped me out a lot with YouTube. I don't know too much about YouTube. I was doing my videos mostly because I had cameras to protect myself from, I was getting harassed a lot from cops, or even people in an accident, or people accusing me of something. But then, of course, it's a catch-22, right? From recording, I got to be careful what I'm doing too, because that can be used against me. So yeah, I mean, and that's why there's people out there too that it's funny how they've been in the MC less than a handful of years, and they'll talk crap about someone, like, let's say about you. And you have all these years, I don't care if it's a 99% club or what, in the MC set world, that's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of stuff that people can learn from you. And you can always learn from anybody. That's why the day that you think that you don't learn something, you should just hang it up. That's my deal. And I just think it's bullshit when people mention things just because they think their club is some type of superior over someone else's club itself.
So the way I feel about it is, I have an audience I speak to. I used to put these, if you go back and you see my earlier videos, it would say for 99%ers only, for traditional mom and pop clubs only. If you're a 1% club, I ain't talking to you. I'm only talking to this certain set of people. Even in my books, in the beginning of my books, I would say this is for 99%ers only. And I found that no matter how much I said that, everybody was watching. everybody was watching, and either they liked it or they didn't. They had something to say. It was either good or negative. Um, but if you're talking about motorcycling in a motorcycle club, they're gonna watch you. They're gonna all watch you. 99 percenters, 1 percenters, riding clubs, social clubs. They're gonna watch you. You can't just talk to a subset of them. And if what you have to say is real, like for instance, my book President's Bible that's coming out. A lot of people, I got a lot of flack, like, "Oh, you're going to be telling motorcycle club stuff. And the FBI might as well get your book." And it's like, bro, why aren't you saying people something to the people that did Sons of Anarchy or
those were actually informants. Like in those movies and stuff, there's actually informants that help of the LE and actually were putting stories in there.
Well, but also regular real live clubs, real live center clubs were telling stuff. And bro, we're so loud about what we do. There ain't nothing I'm saying that, but my books are not particularly to tell you how the motorcycle club set works. My book, Prospect's Bible, the First Chronicle, or President's Bible Chronicle 1, is a book on leadership, how to be a president, and anybody could use it in any organization because it's a book that teaches you about the principles of leadership, which a lot of motorcycle clubs don't have. The principles of leadership that go into what it takes to lead men, what it takes to be an actual successful leader of men, what traits you need, the principles of leadership and the traits of leadership, justice and judgment and dependability and initiative and decisiveness, tact, integrity, enthusiasm, bearing, usefulness, courage, knowledge, loyalty, endurance. These are the tenets of leadership. How to have initiative and tact and honor and self-discipline, and how to handle emotional crises like depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. You get one of your presidents murdered, or your sergeant at arms, but you've got a chapter of men you've got to keep in check and not get everybody killed and or in prison on RICO while you're still trying to deal with the tragedy of having your sergeant at arm lost. Everybody's looking at you for the answers, and your heart is broken, and you still got to be. So these are the nightmare scenarios I've seen as a 99 percenter. And if I've seen this and I can talk about it, there are other people that have seen far worse, but they will, these principles are the same principles every successful leader uses. So, that's the strength of the book. That's what the books talk about. They're not some big chasm secrets that,
Well, no. And people get it twisted about the word 99%. As well as I know a lot of clubs that don't wear a diamond that I wouldn't fuck with, that I respect. They'll take care of their own. And people always get an illusion. They see a diamond and they think there's like this hierarchy that makes these guys. And I just saw the same guy in a riding club with a different patch. Next week I saw him with a big club's name on it. Now he's acting all tough. It's the same motherfucker. Same dude. And I know some clubs that are 99% clubs. We're all grown men. We're all grown men. And if you think a grown man would not hesitate to defend themselves at any moment, I mean, some might not, but I know a majority will. And people just get it really twisted when they think they can walk up with a cut just because it has a name on it. And sometimes I know there's a lot of politics involved because people don't want to step on toes. That's not what we're there for. At the end of the day, we're there to have fun, be with brothers, the original things, right? Take care of ourselves. And if someone comes out, we will defend ourselves. That's it. But we're here to have a good time. I want to smile in pictures. I don't want to look all tough. So, I mean, you've probably seen, like I said, you have the resume. And there's people that don't have a resume, which is cool because there's new clubs out there that start off. Some start off for the wrong reasons, just because there are people that don't want to prospect. There's people that want a title, and they want to be, you know, they might find, like, make a chapter and already appoint themselves as the president, not appointed by their peers. And that's okay, but there's some people that take that a little too far and think that now that, you know, they have more credibility compared to someone else that's been in it for a while, or experience. I mean, a lot of experience, as you know, will get you out of trouble if needed. So,
Well, I think it was oh, was it, who was it? It was either Winchester or Colt. Might have been Colonel Colt, who said that the sidearm is the great equalizer. It allows a 90-pound woman to take out a 400-pound bear, or or an attacker who would hope to rape her. It's the great equalizer. And you know, the guy who wakes up every morning, I like that song. Everybody considered him the coward of the county. That country and western singer used to sing. Until he came home and these three men had raped his wife. Like, everyone is going to protect home. Everyone's going to protect their family. In the Godfather spoke very plainly of what happens if you screw with his family. So I don't make any great big proclamations. You know, I'm just here to ride my motorcycle in peace, and I come with peace. I come about the we, but we're going to watch out after ourselves. You know, you kick somebody's door in, and you're a burglar, and you come into their house. First of all, that's their house. They know the lay of the land. You know, unless you bum rush somebody at the door with a home invasion robbery, you come into somebody's house at night. It's pretty much fair game what goes on in there. Everybody's going to protect home. Everybody's going to protect. Even, you know, funny thing, ISIS went over to Iraq and whooped ass. Uh, when the Iraqi soldiers realized that if we run and we give ourselves up, they're going to put us in a line, blow our brains out, and bury us in a ditch. When they realized they couldn't run anymore, all of a sudden they turned around and started fighting. You know, at first ISIS had them all screwed up. ISIS would drive these trucks towards the front lines, and they had these poor bastards in it that would blow themselves up, and that was just terrifying. Well, you know, after a few hundred of those or whatever, and like, nobody was scared anymore. And now there's no ISIS there anymore. The caliphate was shaken. Why? Because grown men stood up and protected themselves. The Vikings, when they used to come down and plunder for just forever, and then at some point, folks was like, you know what, man, this is about the last daughter of mine you're gonna run off with and rape and kidnap and pillage, and folks got their act together. So, you know, it goes on for a while, and then folks have to. There's a human emotion, a need, a desire to survive and to live in peace in the pursuit of happiness, and folks will do whatever they got to do to have that. So, I don't hold any club. Um, I don't think any club, even a riding club, yeah, a riding club under the right circumstances will do what they have to do to survive. And people who, you know, and so I find real hardcore, real diamond wearers. Those are the guys you don't ever see messing with anybody. They have live and kind of let live attitudes. You know, I never saw those guys ever mess with anybody. It's the guys that have something to prove that you always see up in somebody's face.
well, that's the thing I tell people. I mean, sometimes I look kind of serious when I do my videos. I don't joke. I mean, the more you hear me, I always make fun of you a little bit on Black Dragon. I always say little, not. I would do it in front of your face, right? I joke around. I prank a lot. That's me. I joke around a little too much, I think. But I will never, ever back down from anything serious. I'm tough when I want to be tough. Come on, man. You know I like making fun of you. I just want to give you a big hug.
You in Hollywood, man.
It's easy to make fun of you.
I know.
But I do it to you when you're in the mornings. I always sneak in my little comments.
Yeah. Ouch. That hurts.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't have to prove my, like I did MMA for 10 years. I tell people if they want to fight, I was fighting every day, get my ass kicked or kick someone's ass. I don't care if you want to fight. I really don't. If you want to, I always tell people, let's put $100 on the table. We'll fight. Winner gets the money and we buy drinks. That's it.
I need my $100. I'm not fighting your young ass.
I'll give you a heart attack. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I might take your woman.
I doubt that. It's okay. She brings.
I'm pretty good looking.
My woman brings extra women, so you can have.
Oh hell! Hollywood did that to me today.
I want to say Lisa on here. I don't know if she's gone. She says she was surprised how young I look. I feel good.
You're a young man. You're striking looking man. You got your little muscles and stuff. You're doing all right.
Yeah,
I had that.
I started in the MC set actually around since 2003.
Okay.
So I was a young buck, didn't know shit about MCs, didn't know. I saw people in the bar with an MC, something in their back. Back then, there's no internet on the phones to look that up. I just talked to them daily, and they kept inviting me around. Then I went home and looked up who the hell these guys are. I thought it was a local little, I don't know. I came from a different background. My background was more organized. That's all I'm going to say. So as a, it's a social club.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was talking to these guys, I looked them up and go, they're supposed to be like these big criminals, and hung around with them for years. And that's where I learned a lot of stuff. But I was never chasing an MC since when I didn't know much about it. Coming from Miami, there was not much motorcycle clubs down there that I saw. It was more about lowriders, more street stuff, bass music. Yeah, DJ Mike, Magic Mike, not from the Dancer, but DJ Laz and all these guys. So it was a different scene for me. But I used to ride little dirt bikes and stuff, and worked hard to get my first little bike, that BSA Classic, which I'm an idiot and sold for cheap afterwards. I didn't know how much that thing is worth. I fixed it up. I had duct tape all around it. And so, yeah, I mean, everybody starts off different ways. You don't have to be a biker all your life or around bikers. There's people that start riding about a year ago that are fascinated by the lifestyle. They might want to join. And half of them, more than half, don't last that long. But I give everybody the ample opportunity to see the lifestyle, see if they like it. Every club is different. Like you said, every city is could be 100 clubs that people never even heard of. There's going to be a good fit for somebody. It's what they go for. They chase the name, right? They chase a name, and it's not a match, but they want to chase the name. They want to chase a diamond or something. And then when they get after prospecting and they don't last, they talk shit about the MCs. And they say, oh, it's a piece of shit and MCs suck. I mean, it's cool because there's a lot of solo riders that watch our videos. And they always post about stuff about, oh, that's why I'm a solo rider. F you guys. And I go, well, thank you for watching. That's awesome. And that's real freedom. If you don't want rules, ride by yourself. The only laws you can follow are the regular laws. But other than that, there's more rules in MC sets than people are going to imagine. We talk all the shit about, people say outlaws and we follow rules.
Bikers are free.
Yeah.
Motorcycle club guys, no. Bikers are free. If you want to be free, be a biker. Because they are free. I'm my freest when I'm biking. That's when my blood pressure is right and everything. I'm looking forward to getting back to being a biker. As a club guy, it's all about other people's feelings and the politics, all that. That's a club guy, but a biker is free. Club guys aren't free.
Hellfighter said, I've been riding longer than Wild has been alive. And damn right you have, probably.
Is Hellfighter Steve on?
Yeah, he's on. If anyone wants to ask any questions, go ahead. I mean, we've been here for 55 minutes. We'll probably give it 5 more minutes or so because I know Black Dragon was really nice to actually, because he knows a lot of guys cancel on me lately, and he didn't want to be the other guy to cancel on me. He was busy as hell, and it was close enough, but we backed it up 30 minutes so he can make it home, and I do thank him. So if anyone has questions, go ahead and ask away. We do have, I haven't been on there in a while, several weeks probably, Biker News every morning with Black Dragon TV.
Yeah, you haven't, you just,
My hours have been shitty as hell. I've been doing 24-hour shifts, and they've been calling me, getting it there at 5 in the morning. So then I'm already at work by the time you're on. And sometimes I just get on there and say something. So,
but what I thank you for is that I really had I was really having a hard time going daily, and you really helped me get over the hump.
Yeah.
Because when I first started, I really needed to have the energy and the second person and all of that, and you really helped me. So I'm very thankful for that.
No problem. I like getting on the show because then I just start talking crap and we just go into another subject, or I interrupt you. Like, I'm like that guy. Since it's only a voice, it's not like a video, so it's a little different. But no, in the beginning it was kind of it was tough to get you on there, but now you're there every morning. I said, so and yeah, you contemplated things about stopping it and all this stuff, but
yeah, it doesn't have the viewership I like. But there's things I have to do to get the show better, and one of the things is be on time. I can't hit that 7 o'clock mark. I'm still working it out. I'm still trying to fill it out. But the people that come, they're very gracious. They come every morning. Hellfighter Steve, they watch us all too. And they just must like biker content because they'll go watch Hollywood. They'll watch me. They'll go watch Demons Row. They'll go watch Big Cell. They'll go watch Adam Sandoval. They'll go watch Shade Tree Mechanic. Is that what it is?
I think he's out of Tampa, Florida. I know that.
They'll go watch us all. The girl that's doing really well. They'll go watch us all. That's all they do is watch motorcycle TV.
Yeah. Hey, well, I was gonna say, Switchback Rider asked that been watching your show. I don't know if it's talking about mine or yours. What would you say is the hardest part of being in a club? I'll let you go first on that one. What's the hardest thing of being in the club is?
The hardest thing is the dirty politics. Trusting these people that say they love you and then falling on the sword of that trust when these people stab you in the back, and then trying to be friends with them again, or at least tolerate them in a room without cutting their throats because you're supposed to be their brother. Watching people that you have given your right arm to talk about you negatively, lie about you, tell people stories about you, convince people to hate you that've never met you, and you've never done anything wrong to that person. So the hardest part about motorcycle clubbing is the disappointment in motorcycle clubbing. The way these folks that you let next to you can break your damn heart in a million bitter little pieces. And you go to the hospital and none of these people show up. Stuff like that. Unexplainable, like unacceptable shit. And yet you find you love your club so much you don't leave it. The hardest part is when your woman can't stand your club so bad because she's seen how they've hurt you. And just the mention of the club's name makes her want to throw up. But it's not something you're ever going to be able to leave. Or if you do leave it and you go get involved in another one, it's some of the same old crap. So I think the hardest part of the club is the difficulties that are part of the club. But just like somebody in a church would tell you the same thing. I know some people that were told to stand up and admit their sins before the church and their sexual issues or be thrown out of the church. Like, who does that? But it happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then everything is kind of subjective in a way. Let's say you probably had more criticism due to the stages of your rank as the national president, right? Everybody always says, "Oh, I can do better." They're couch presidents. They probably say things. They probably talk more behind your back compared to like I was a chapter president for my chapter, which is small, but still the politics is always the hardest thing. And sometimes the politics of other clubs that supposedly you're supposed to hate now. And why? It's nothing to do with us. Might have been something in the past. Actually could have been caused from a girl. More clubs have gone to war over a girl than anything I've ever seen in my life. And you'd be surprised how there's all this hatred over clubs if you even talk to somebody. But, maybe you knew him already in the past, but he's in this club and you have to watch all the protocols. And that's why I'm one of those guys, as you know, I stand my ground. I'm not going to go to supposedly someone called dominant and ask permission. I'll be respectful. And I don't say everybody should be doing that. There's people out there that say everybody should not listen to so-called protocol. There is no real protocol. You should wear what you want to wear. This is America, which is true. But at the same time, people will get hurt. And some guys like you put out information, not because you say you think that's how it should be, but you're actually trying to put information just to tell people, make people aware that, hey, you can possibly get hurt. Just know your stuff. And at the end of the day, you don't put anything in your back don't have in the heart or where you're going to stand for. And if you want to wear something, wear it, but just know the consequences of what's going to happen. There's always going to be that one person out of a club. I can go to any club and everything will be fine, but there will be one person in that club that might not like me for some reason. And you just have to be careful about what you do and say. And that's the thing that sometimes it's hard because you get so, as you know, you're talking to somebody and maybe you don't talk club business, but you might say something about someone here. Man, in the MC set, word gets around quick. And then people pass a lot of judgment on you before they even meet you. So, yes, sir. Don't fall asleep on me. Don't be falling. No, I'm kidding.
Do I look sleepy?
Oh, you're tired, man. I can tell you're tired. I can see you're tired. But I think that's it for now, man. It's been an hour.
There's no more questions? Wow.
Let's see. We've been talking all the time. Not many people have been asking questions. I mean, we had about 47 people on here. Any questions from anybody else?
That's pretty good, man. Congratulations. Oh, wrong. Hold on. Congratulations. Can't believe
Let's see. Switchback Rider said, thanks for the answer. I've been asked to join a couple clubs in my state of New Jersey. I just wanted my commitment there. Just hard for me to juggle my kids and family job club. It's not easy for everybody. The thing I tell people all the time, whatever you do as a hang around, as a prospect, set the bar and let them know, like, hey, if you're a guy that doesn't stay out till 4 a.m. and you're out by midnight, be that guy. Say, hey, guys, I got to go. Be that. Don't in the beginning start always leaving at 4 a.m. And then when you start prospecting or in the club, you're the first one gone and you're doing everything totally opposite. You're just doing that to kind of give that good vibe, but you're not going to last that long if you're going to push yourself to who you're not. Be yourself. If you're the funny guy, be the funny guy. If you're the tough guy, be the quiet tough guy. But don't be tough just because that's what you think they want to be. Don't be the guy that parties hard if you're not a party guy. There's people that are loners in clubs. There are a lot of introverts and MCs, I'll tell you what. Not many people are like us that are on here talking social. Not many people. So those are things that I see a lot of people confuse. Be yourself. Pick the club that most fits you and fits your lifestyle, who understands that job is first and family is first. Without that, you can't be in the club. When the hell are you going to tell a brother, no, you can't go to work, you should go to this event, then he gets fired? I'll feel like shit. Never tell a brother to miss work. I would never tell someone to miss something with a family, a kid event. For that, we can get all together and go watch the kid play softball. I don't know. You help people out. And that's me. I mean, some clubs are different, and I understand that. Some people miss their firstborn to be with that club event, which I think is silly.
Yeah, but they do.
This is a marathon, right? It's you have a marathon. If this is a real family and it's a long-term thing, dude, take your time, enjoy it. There's no rush. There's no retirement plan that they're going to give you if you rush to this many years. As you know, I mean, you get what you put in. If you want to be just going to the bars, join a club that is a bar hopper. If you want to join a club that's a riding, like a kind of that rides everywhere, find that club that just, hey, because some clubs are split, right? You have the older guys that don't ride as hard as they used to, but they used to be that way. They might be the bar guys now, but then you be that new person that starts getting everybody that, you know, the newer guys to ride more. So all in due time.
All in due time.
Let me see if anyone else has anything, and we can let you. Will you both consider subscriber meetup in the future? Yeah. You know, I'm in Texas, and
we're supposed to do one with Hollywood. Hollywood has got his thing going. I'm supposed to be going up there this summer to his VIP meetup for the members on his channel. So I'm going to go up there for that. And then I'm going to do my own. I'm going to probably try to do it at Adam Sandoval's place.
Nice.
Over there in Moyers, Oklahoma. I've been to his campground before. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And he's done so many enhancements to it. So I want to go back to his RV park, and I'd like to do a subscriber meetup there.
No, that'd be fun. See, I mean, I'm getting up there in subscribers. I'm like 3,800. It's getting there. Less than a year.
Yeah.
So it's good. Love my subscribers. Good guy, good people. Good comments all the time. So, all right. Anything else you want to add, BD?
Burn rubber, not your soul.
What kind of rubbers? Bareback it is. All right. No, you can't put me anywhere. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys. If I call and you put me on speaker, and your kids are around, don't get fucking pissed when I say something out of the ordinary or really pretty vulgar. You got to tell me right away. Speaker's on.
Bareback for sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Quick question for both of us. You both. Best way to appease both types of members, socializing members at pubs and Rising. Our Prez is thinking of starting a mixed events weekend. Do you understand that? Let's see. Let me try to say it one more time. Best way to appease both types of members, socializing members at pubs, and Rising. This is Rising Our Prez. I guess I don't know if that's his name. Rising Our Prez is thinking of starting a mix event, like having mixed clubs. I guess try to appease different clubs for an event. I think that's what he's asking.
You're trying to please do two different types of members. I say just let them each do their thing. You know, like in our club, we have guys who really are long distance motorcycle riders. They go to events out of town. They're real hardcore riders. Then you got guys that are clubbers. They just
he says riding, not best way. Pubs and riding. So our president.
Yeah. So you got some guys that are riders, hardcore riders, and you got other guys that are clubbers, hardcore. They hold the bench down. Those are and so you let each group do its own thing, because those are the guys that are going to come to that club, clean the heads. They're going to have it open so it can make money. You need those guys. And then the other guys, the adventurers that are going to be out on the bikes and pressing the patch, and the patch is seen all over the place, blah, blah. You need those guys. So you just let those guys, you let the clubhouse guys do the clubhousing and the riding guys do the riding, and you stay out of everybody's way and just let them do that thing. And the club is just remarkable because of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? A club, it's like a real family. You have brothers that you're not going to be probably the closest with, but it's just like a regular family. You're going to be respecting everybody's personalities. Everybody's different. Every chapter is different from the same club, so it's going to be different everywhere you go. All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. You can catch Black Dragon on Black Dragon Biker TV. Also, every morning, Biker News. I'm on there once in a while. You can go on my channel. Please subscribe. Wild on Twos. I put out a video today. Oh, you got to put the music. There you go. So until next week, much love and respect.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Jesus, it's going to come so fast. at 7-ish on Black Dragon Biker TV. On the Biker News Network section, Biker News you can trust at about 7-ish. Tomorrow's the last day of the week for us, except for Sunday night at 8 p.m. I'm Black Dragon, and I'm so glad to be on Wild on Two. So proud of his channel, all of the great things that he is doing on the channel. I appreciate all of my folks signing up on his channel, subscribing to him, and listening to him, and we just do this all together. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in.